climate. Do you even know what those words mean? And how will they affect how you're telling your story in marketing? Well, recent research says you may be shing yourself. And if you're not, what story are you really telling? You ready for what's new that you need to lead? Let's roll. Hello everybody, Robert Rose here with the news. It is what's new, but really, it's what's important in the world of marketing. And for the best and best practices, in content and marketing, you can head on over to contentmarketinginstitute.com. So over the last year, we have seen societal leadership take a front and center role in our marketing strategy. The big PR firm Edelman releases their trust barometer every year, and last year's headline was that societal leadership is now a core function of business. I love that headline, by the way. And in that research, what they found 58% of us will advocate for brands based on their beliefs and values. 60% of us will choose our next place of work based on the company's beliefs or values. And 80% of us will make an investment decision based on those very same things. This means that positioning, storytelling, content, and the stories we tell about our company's efforts on such things as climate change, diversity, equity, transparency, they are all becoming increasingly important issues. And taking leadership position on them means defining them. And like all things marketing and language-based, it does sometimes mean when we define them on our standards rather than someone else's. Now, is it any wonder then that climate and sustainability is coming under a bit of scrutiny because of the lack of control of standard definitions? At the end of last year, Coca-Cola actually won a greenwashing lawsuit filed by an environmental group that said that the company's statements on the environment and sustainability were not accurate based on the company's actual business practices. The ruling found, and it is being appealed, by the way, that when Coca-Cola says that it wants to, quote, create a world without waste or do business the right way, that these are statements of goals, not promises to consumers. Now, whatever you feel about that and or the soft drink's earnestness in that statement of a goal or not a promise, let's just say that even in winning the lawsuit, the look is not a good one for the soft drink brand. The news is that the recent and other greenwashing concerns have prompted the FTC to start looking into these issues with the goal of considering new regulations on how brands can create content and use specific words in their marketing activities. This week, the FTC announced hearings and are seeking public comment on whether there should be standard definitions around terms like net zero or sustainable or carbon neutral or low carbon or carbon negative. Maybe they'll also figure out carbon copy or carbon fiber or carbon. Anyway, I'm digressing here. Alongside of all this noise of terms and definitions, it has really put a bit of a damper of the storytelling on sustainability to brands. Ad Age is now reporting on the trend of green hushing. This is a new trend where brands have, quite honestly, just begun to shut up about their sustainability and greening efforts. They cite a research study done by South Pole, a consulting group that implements emission reduction projects and strategies, where they found that 1 out of every 4 companies they surveyed that has already set a science-based emission reduction target do not plan to publicize them. That's a real issue. How do you start to incentivize or put any kind of peer pressure on those who are not setting goals or taking action if the ones who are feel as though they're in such a gotcha scenario that they don't even want to talk about it? What's our take here at CMI? Well, first, it's a great question. Very hard to untangle. And it certainly goes beyond even climate change and into all kinds of topics regarding brand marketing and societal leadership. Today, there are certainly companies, even, maybe Congress people, that will tell big whoppers when it comes to what they've accomplished or done in the name of societal leadership. But it's also true there are companies that will try, and sometimes if they try, that means they will also fail. But if a certain segment of the population throws all those companies in the same bucket, well, then hushed we will all be. And that makes it incredibly hard to demonstrate or make any real progress. So my advice, tell that brand character story. Be loud with that brand character story. We cannot be afraid of telling our story. But with all of your content, treat it with the same care and respect that you would putting any product into the marketing world. In other words, accuracy matters, safety matters, truth matters. Make sure you're doing what you say you do, and make sure you don't embellish it or make up stuff that you can't make it real. Worst case, you get called out and you have to show your cards. In the long term, I can't imagine that hurts your brand. Just remember this. Our brand is all the things we did that we want people to see. Character is what we do when no one's watching. Great brand character is doing the right things when no one is watching and then letting everyone know what we learned when they are. But what do you think? Let's discuss. Add some comments. How are you planning on taking up your brand's efforts to lead in society? Or are you? Are you finding yourself hushed? For now, that's 5 minutes of what's new that hopefully you can use to lead your marketing strategy. I'm Robert Rose, and remember, as always, it's your story. Tell it well. See you next week.